They say nothing's certain but death and taxes. But good counsel can make both better.
Welcome to Coffee with Steve and Margot. I'm Steve Drake.
And I'm Margot Drake. Today we're talking estate planning and real property with Jordan Bush, founder and lead counsel at Hedge Life Law. The guy that you want in your corner before things go sideways. Good morning, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
You're
So glad to be here.
Thank you for being here. So tell us, Jordan, a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and your favorite thing about West Michigan.
Yeah, thanks so much. Jordan Bush. I was born and raised here in West Michigan. I've been married to my wife now Leah for 22 years. We have two children, one a senior in high school, one a sophomore in high school. So we're kind of in that off to college stage of our lives. Born and raised in Grand Rapids, moved over to the Detroit area for a while, and then moved back to West Michigan because we loved it so much. And one of the things that I love about West Michigan, Grand Rapids specifically, it's the biggest little town, or it's the littlest big town out there. Meaning there's so much to do, but you can get there in about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
true.
And there's such a variety of things that we can do. You know, there are shows, there's amazing golf, and there's amazing lakes, and there's just so much to do, but we don't have the clutter of being in a big city. So
that's a great answer.
It's a great secret that I don't want anybody else to kind of find out about. So let's just kind of keep West Michigan a secret to ourselves.
Right. We want a lot of people to move here, but kind of.
Only so many. Yeah.
That's right. Only so many, not too many.
Exactly.
Well, that's a great answer. And actually, we've heard that from someone else. Yeah. That's a wonderful aspect of Grand Rapids, that it is a big little town.
I think we should enjoy it for the moment, because with all of this construction and what's going on,
I would agree. I think it's definitely a growth area.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Well,
absolutely.
Jordan, in my career, I got to deal with lots of attorneys, big firms, medium-sized firms. I've done some estate stuff for my mom's estate. And we've also, full transparency, we've worked with you with Margot's mom's estate, who is still alive. It's actually her trust. You're so different. We sit in your office and we actually talk to you and your assistant. We make an appointment. We walk right in, within a week or so. I can tell anyone that hasn't dealt with a lawyer, this is different. Tell us how and why your firm is different.
Yeah, thanks so much for recognizing that, because we try and be the least lawyery law office we can possibly be.
Amen.
That's exactly what it felt like.
We want to provide excellent top-line or top-notch legal services, but we don't want to come off like a lot of stereotypical or prototypical lawyers do. Early on, we realized that nobody ever wants to talk to a lawyer. Nobody ever wants to talk about death and incapacitation and these types of issues. And so when you combine those two things, you've created all of these obstacles for people who don't want to come and get really, really important things done, including estate planning, now or after somebody is incapacitated or passes away. So when I created Hedge Life Law, people often ask, how'd you name, where'd the name come from?
Yeah.
And it's kind of a twofold answer. The first part is my last name is Bush. And so a bunch of bushes is a hedge. So it's a little bit of a dad joke homage to my name without it actually being my name, because I wanted it to be bigger than just me, bigger than just my name. The real reason is, one of the definitions of hedge is to be means of defense or protection. And so that's the mission of our firm, to be means of defense or protection for our clients as it relates to estate planning, real property, and other related matters. But we try and do so in a way that is the least lawyery way possible. We just want to have normal conversations. If I'm dressed in a black suit and someone comes to an initial consult and they already feel like they're at the funeral, nobody's going to be comfortable in sharing what's actually going on in their lives. So we try and make it very relaxed. We try and make it casual. We try and make it conversational. And in that initial consult, which is always free, we actually want to identify what are the goals that you're actually trying to accomplish out of this estate plan. Because the plan for an 18-year-old who's leaving the house for the first time, and the plan for an 88-year-old person who's looking at nursing home and what to do with their estate after they pass away, those are all very, very different. So there is no one size, fits all sorts of scenarios. So we have to actually just have to have conversations to figure out what are your goals. And then once we've identified those goals, here are some of the legal tools that we can use to accomplish them. So we just try and do so in a very relaxed atmosphere because we want to take those obstacles away. We want to remove those obstacles from people getting these plans done because it is so important.
You have
Awesome.
removed a lot of the friction, even down to the parking, and your location is so accessible.
Yeah.
Instead of being an affirmation of why I don't want to go to the lawyer, it's a surprise. It's a pleasant surprise to go and experience it. And I totally agree with everything you're saying. I feel like for our loved ones, we love celebrating birthdays and Christmas and doing all these nice things because we love them, but everyone forgets there's also some very grown-up things that you need to do when you love them. And that starts, when you become a couple and think about having a family. There's some stuff you got to do all the way up through the end of life.
Yeah, life will present all of these benchmarks in which your estate plan, which you needs to be relooked at least.
Yep.
Anyone 18 years or older who's still fogging a mirror needs some level of planning, because as an adult in the eyes of the law, if you don't give somebody permission or to make decisions for you, the courts get to.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, the courts, it's a long process and an expensive process. So all the way from 18 to the time you get married, to the time you have kids, to the time you buy real estate, to the time you make some money, to the time that you want to get involved in charitable giving, to the time you want to plan for independent or assisted or nursing home living, to the time that you want to actually give your assets away after you die. There's all these benchmarks over life that we need to look at. What does your plan say? And the biggest thing that I fight against is the procrastination. Well, I'll do that later. I'll get to it. And the tongue.
It's one of those things that's not urgent, but so important. So that's why people are usually so busy, and us included. I mean, putting out fires that you don't get to the important things. And
absolutely,
you're dealing with the urgent things.
It's so urgent. It's so important, but it's so urgent until it is immediately you need it. Until somebody has the stroke or there is the accident. And so, we often say, "Tell me when you're going to get incapacitated. Tell me when you're going to die, and I'll tell you exactly what to do." And unfortunately, my crystal ball is pretty hazy when it comes to life events. So that's why I always make the recommendation, and it's just my encouragement to everybody. Please, 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 whether it's with me, which obviously I would love to do, or somebody, make sure you have the foundational estate planning documents in place, because we are certain that we are going to pass away. And it is a very, very high likelihood at some point in our life, we're going to become incapacitated and need somebody else to make some decisions for us.
Awesome.
On this show, we spotlight the amazing people that make West Michigan an extraordinary place to call home. And usually it's, wine bars and hotels and restaurants and those things that people want to do. This is something that people need to do. And I want to reiterate the fact that you said your initial consultation is free.
Absolutely free. Yeah.
So you've taken the friction out of that also.
I bet you even buy them a cup of coffee, right?
As much coffee as they want. As much coffee as they want.
You can actually profit on that first free visit.
So I think that this is a great time to pull up the contact slide so people can get a hold of you. You can always just scan the QR code and you will get to Hedge Life Law's website, but you can go to hedgelifelaw.com. And you can call them at 616-348-7100 or go to info@hedgelifelaw.com.
Hey, Jordan, the other important part of your practice is real estate law. Margot mentioned real property, and that's something that when you need it, you kind of need it fast. Yeah. So it's good to have someone in your Rolodex. I just aged myself.
Yes, you did.
Whoa.
Okay, someone in your iPhone.
Someone in your iPhone that you can call and get the answers that you need to keep things moving. So this is kind of going out to all of the real estate professionals. You will need someone quickly So make an introduction to Jordan, just so they know your name and face and can get some stuff done quickly. You want to say anything about that part of your practice?
Yeah, absolutely. Where real property and estate planning meet is kind of one of my favorite areas. You know, it could be a house being sold out of a trust, or somebody's incapacitated and is looking to sell a property, or there's this interest from a couple of a couple of conveyances ago that never got dealt with properly. So estate planning issues affect real estate transactions so often that I love it when those two practice areas merge, because that's really a sweet spot for me.
Yeah, and again, being a good attorney that is responsive is huge. We've had our share of, people get busy, and unfortunately, we need to keep things moving. So it's nice to have some.
It's our job to get the transaction to the closing table, and it's hard.
I always prefer when they're not sitting at the closing table and they identify the issue. So if they can, if they can identify it a couple of weeks ahead of time, that's usually helpful. But we do run into those issues too every now and again.
We'll work on a couple of weeks.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, back to your family. It sounds like a kid going off to college and one in high school. So your life is pretty chill right now. Two girls?
Yeah, totally relaxed. We got nothing going on in the family calendar.
Nothing really going on.
Yeah,
we know what that's like, and it's an exciting, emotional time.
Yes.
But it's kind of a good time. It's when the great experiment of being a parent, you start seeing the results.
Yes.
It's a blur right now, but we get the best of both worlds. We get some sports with one, and we get all the arts with the other, and performances.
Oh, that's great.
And so we try and keep a well-rounded family. But yeah, it's a blur right now, but we're loving every minute of it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, Jordan, we are so grateful that we found you and that you are in our lives. You have helped us so much and are preparing to help us even further. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And thank you for serving West Michigan. It's great. Glad you came back.
It is my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome.
So viewers, if you are watching on YouTube, remember to hit subscribe and the little bell so you never miss an episode.
If you're watching from Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, follow us to keep up with all the things we're talking about in West Michigan.
Coffee with Steve and Margot is where we spotlight the incredible, cool people that make West Michigan an extraordinary place to call home. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Jordan, for being here. Until next time, plant good seeds.
Cheers.